that you're going to get together with your group and you're going to put events on the books. And it's nice because, you know, it's funny when Emily and I, when she called me, she's like, okay, I'm serious, I'm not kidding around. You know, what do? I just said, okay, let's get in our date book, let's book some events. And the nice thing is that you don't have to do the same thing over and over and over. And like Stacy said, over the next couple weeks, we're going to teach you how to flow event to event to event. And as we do the big picture in shop.com Market America, we're moving event to event to event. So what you want to do with your people is train them. Listen, let's do event to event to event. And so and literally massive growth, right, Emily? From taking this and really truly duplicating this within her team, within her group, and just with this event alone, being able to recruit tons of people, and I say tons, you know, she's out of this event, well, tons of people. Yeah, it is a lot because we're not a recruiting business, right? You don't have to bring in a lot of people, so even 3 or 4 people is a lot, right? Because we get picky and choosy. And so
it's actually 5. I added it up back there. I was like, wait, there was one more.
Yeah, so 5 people just from this event. Wow. Okay, so when we were talking about it, we were like, all right, so, you know, and the thing is we can sit around and think about doing it, or we can take action and get it done, right? So tonight I'm going to show you the action, and maybe some of you guys are doing these events. I mean, you know, but what's nice is watching Emily do this event, we're like, okay, Emily, like, you know, she's a good teacher, you know, and it's good that there are little things we can pick up on, and you should go watch other people do events because, like, I know Nikki and Michael are great at doing events and shop and save events. So whatever we can plug in and leverage each other, it's always the best way to go because then you're learning from her personality and their personality and our personality, and then you're being able to make it your own, okay? So we're going to talk about the shop, sip, and save event.
Yeah, so it took some, okay, so what I love about this business is that it is our job, for those who have gone before you, to help you and lend a hand and raise you up and say, hey, you don't have to do it this way, don't do it this way, do this way. Because this is more successful, this is what people get, this is what we do, okay? So then we teach you what we found successful, and then you duplicate that. It's only going up from there. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that I love about this business. So when I first got started in this business, you know, there's a lot to take in, right? Okay, you all guys, you can agree. So I knew the makeup, I knew the skincare, and I'm like, okay, how do we do this shopping annuity thing? This is like, woo, way over my head. I'm usually like, okay, I go to Walmart or that sort of thing. And so Brandy, when I first sit down with her, she goes, you have to hit the SAVP. And I was like, oh, gosh, I knew you were going to say that. Right? But truly, we're already spending it anyway. And so if we can teach people how to shop on Shop, right, and get cash back for what they're already doing, then it just makes it that much better. And how much do we get of that? 100%, right? 100% of 100% is 100%, which is cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching. Right?
And truly being able to watch as you go and take these from event to event, you know, A1, you want to be the best at this, right? I mean, so we want to teach from the places that we want to lead, right? A leader can't lead where a leader hadn't gone. So if you don't know how to shop on your own shop.com, how are you going to teach somebody else? Right? It's a little intimidating. So this will be good for all of us tonight here to learn if maybe there's going to be something that you pick up on tonight that's even going to help you, you know, make your shopping event a little bit easier too.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I found is that when I did like 3 or 4 events, and again, I was learning, I didn't know what to do, I didn't know how to do this thing and why we do it. So again, you pick up little things and nuggets along the way. I sat in on Mickey and Michael's events, I sat on a few other events, and so I started kind of gathering that, and I took what the best that I found to do, and I kind of tried to implicate that. Okay, so the first 3 events that I did, in my book, how I always do things, it's either 3 strikes you're out or 3rd time's a charm, right? So I always give it 3 chances. Now, the way that we were doing things, it was product, a lot of products. So when you advertise, okay, we're going to teach you how to shop and save, and then they show up with a lot of products, a lot of people are confused. They feel like they're being sold. And these are not my words, these are my customers' words. Okay? So I asked them, I sat down with them, I said, look, you know, I noticed that you're still going to Target, but you can do all this. And they're like, well, I really don't know what that was. Okay? And I'm like, well, then I failed. Okay? So as a leader, I admit that, right? I admit that. I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit down with you and I'm going to explain to you a little bit better. So I did. And one of my partners, actually, her name's Sarah Andrews, and her mom is Shirley Andrews. And if you don't know them, you should. They're amazing people. And they are fantastic teachers. And so they really sat down and they created this and they showed it to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're brilliant. You are stinking brilliant. Because what you're going to do is you're going to take the person who knows nothing. This is a new way of thinking. You have to retrain your brain. Okay? Like JR says, you got to do brain surgery, right? To retrain your brain and your thinking and say, okay, I have to put this dollar through the system. Instead of it coming in and it going out, I have to put it through this system. I'm going to turn it into internet business volume or cash back or both, and then it can go out. Okay, but I'm getting something off of this.
Right, because already just explaining to people, you know, the fact that we are the Anyway business, right? So when people come in at your events, you want to make sure that you are stocked up with home shopping list. You know, you want to make sure when they come in that each and every one of them get a home shopping list and that they are filling that out, because along the way they're going to discover the things they're buying what? Anyway. And so as we begin this event, you know, then we explain to them the process and the steps of, you know, it's just like school, right? You're going to, be in grade school and you're going to progress, and there's benefits to that. And you're going to go on to college and, you know, and continue to have opportunity to make more money in life. And that's one of the things that you're really good at, Emily, explaining to your, you know, potential people sitting there as their guests and potential business partners on working with shop.com and how that works and what that looks like.
Right.
Tell them about that.
Yeah, so I made this outline for you guys like yesterday, so if there's some spelling issues, just have grace. Okay, so what we do is we make sure that each attendee has something to write with. Blank page, note paper, whatever. Because the adult brain retains more if they write it in their own handwriting. Does that make sense? Okay, so they're going to take notes. We're going to say, okay, I'm going to take you through this. We're going to pretend that you are in elementary school. You know absolutely nothing. You heard this might be fun, so you showed up. You know, that's what we're all here. We're just here to have some fun, right? Okay, so when we get the event started, what we do is we hand out the shopping list, the carbon copy ones, and we say, okay, just go through this. If you use any of this, if you use it monthly, weekly, annually, it doesn't matter. Just go ahead and mark off what you normally use, okay? And then you're going to set it aside, okay? We have them put their email address on there, and then at the very end, we have them put a little star at the end if they're interested in making more money than what they just learned, okay? So then we know who to book the follow-up with, okay? Does that make sense? All right, so the intro, we have person one, they introduce the speaker. So if you are a partner even, you're going to act as that hostess. If you have a hostess, you're going to coach them on what to say, okay? And what that pretty much is just you're going to introduce the speaker, you're going to validate the speaker and their success in the business and their profession.
Right, so if I invited Emily to come present the shop and say, and it's my friends that she's going to be speaking to, I'm going to edify Emily, you know, and I'm just going to say, I'm so glad you guys came today. Emily's amazing. She's a shop and annuity expert, where she's going to talk to us about that. Like, that's where we transfer our spending into earnings. She's helped me so much, and together we're able to collect on each other's earnings, and I can't wait for all of you guys to learn. So y'all welcome up Emily. It's just short and sweet, but you're edifying. Make sure you do that. That's really, really important, you know, and it's not like, it's truly because they don't know who she is and it helps her feel comfortable, but it's also respectful of, the people that are going before you to help you create success in your business. So I've edified Emily, and now Emily, you get up.
Now I get up and I thank the hostess. I do my 2-minute commercial showing like what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. I reiterate that this is a product brokerage company, okay? And in an internet franchise, and we only deal in multi-billion-dollar markets. And e-commerce is a multi-billion-dollar market, okay? So this is what we do. We own everything, okay? We teach you how to shop on what you're already spending or already purchasing, and we teach you how to make money on that, okay? Simple enough?
Yeah.
Simple enough. Okay. And then I reiterate that wouldn't you agree that people are shifting from brick and mortar stores to click and order stores? So e-commerce, things are shutting down left and right, and they're seeing that in the news, 270 stores closing, this and that, and people are already seeing it. But once you make that connection, you're going to say, okay, this is what we're moving towards, and we're going to reiterate why they're here. They're going to learn to shop and save money on what they're already spending, to shop in a more convenient way, so that saves time and money, which is a big deal for someone like me who's very busy, okay? We earn cash back on what we're already spending, and you can earn cash back on anybody you refer to this, okay?
And what's great too, Emily, is that at this point, you really want to engage with your audience. And anytime you're doing an event, you don't want to just be the person up there talking, you really want to involve your crowd. So basically what that would look like is you're asking questions like, who's shopping on Amazon right now? How many guys are going to shop? How many guys are going to shop forever? How many guys know people shopping on Amazon or other platforms? And if we could show you a way today, our biggest goal is to help you save as much money as you can, and it's free for everybody to do that, and we're going to show you how that works, right? So you're asking your people questions that are going to probe them to make sure they're going to want to pay attention, because free, when people hear free and that they're doing it anyway, they're going to pay attention to you, right? So you're going to involve the crowd. Always make sure you involve the crowd. That's why tickets, if you can use these tickets, the perforated tickets, you'll be seeing them next week too, but you always want to use as a motivator for people to stay awake, attention, alive, alert, enthusiastic, right? It just helps you make your job a lot more fun and easier, right? So, excited, yes.
Okay, so the next question that people generally ask, and I want you guys to kind of make notes on your little thing here, because that, again, it goes back to it really sinks in if you write it, right? Okay, so most people ask, how does that work? Well, there's this thing called, we talk about traditional advertising at that point. What is traditional advertising? And so then they'll be like, oh, well, commercials. Well, like, I haven't seen a commercial in a year, because why? Well, DVR. Okay, so everybody's fast forwarding. So traditional marketing, magazines, newspapers, they're all obsolete. They're not working anymore. So companies had to get really creative in their advertising, and so there's this thing called affiliate advertising. So we talk about social media. So let's say that something you, like this is my example, this has actually happened to me. Before Christmas, I was looking for a pre-lit tree. Okay, I went to Home Depot because I knew it was a partner store, but I didn't go through shopping, I was just looking. Well, then later that evening, I didn't buy. Later that evening, I was on Facebook or on social media, and that same pre-lit tree from Home Depot comes up in my newsfeed. Okay? So, at that point, what we don't see, if I were to click on that, what you don't see is that Home Depot sends Facebook a check because I went through their site. Okay? So those same millions of billions of dollars that they spend in advertising, they're now having to give that away to different ways of advertising. So this is where we get our cash back. This is where we get the affiliate marketing. And what makes a difference is that we're shopping on shop. We're able to capture a little bit of that for our pockets. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I reiterate that shopping on shop is the mall without walls. So if you think about it, shop.com is now your mall. Okay? So when you go to the mall, say you go to the Woodlands Mall, you go to the mall, and then through that mall, you go to Victoria's Secrets, okay? So did you go to Victoria's Secrets? Yes. Did you go directly to Victoria's Secrets? No. You went to the mall. Does that make sense? So you went to, now with this is the mall without walls, just like JR says, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so going to the mall without walls, it would be like you're going to the Woodlands Mall, and then as soon as you go to Victoria's Secrets, you make your purchase. It would be like someone standing at the door of Victoria's Secret saying, here's 2% cash back on the amount you just spent. Okay? Does that sound enticing?
Yeah.
Making money where you're already spending money, right? Okay, so keep that in mind. But with this mall, you also get a shopping assistant. You also get Shop Buddy. So I explained to them that you get a shopping assistant that scours the internet for anything that can possibly, any coupon codes, any deals or whatever, and it brings it to your attention right at that moment when you're about to check out. Okay? So now you have everything that's valid at that time that's going to save you more money. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's good. And that just really helps them understand. You're putting them in perspective to pay attention, to listen, and really they're like, wow, why wouldn't I do this? And a lot of times, you know, throughout the event, I'm like, how many of you guys would agree? Like, you're excited you're here tonight. You know, I'm forecasting what they need to be thinking. Yeah. You have to forecast what they're thinking because, you know what, that is how you bring about, you know, the excitement in the room when you forecast, you know, again, what they're already doing. Then they just literally line up with that. I don't know if that makes sense. It's just psychological, but it works, you guys. So you're always like, hey, aren't you glad you guys are here tonight? That you learned this, and now you don't even have to go to the mall. You can stay in your pajamas and sit right at your desk, you know. And I say things like that. You didn't have to waste gas, you know. Although we can tell them, right, Tori, how they can save money on the gas, you know, even through that. But you're simply you're throwing nuggets out there. That's truth, right? That's truth. And then so they're going to also appreciate the fact that you're giving them the information because it saves them time. You know, it's really something that, you know, maybe you don't think about, and a lot of times we get nervous, but just have fun with it. Sandra, I'm glad I came tonight. You know, this is amazing because now, instead of doing it the traditional way, we can show you what you're doing anyway and put more of this money back in your pocket and save your time. And time you can't pay for and get back. So
that's right.
Something you need to throw
So
out
how
there.
many of you guys are doing shop.com events? Okay, how many of you guys need to know a little bit better about it before, are you scared? How many of you are scared to do it? Okay, so now I know who I'm talking to. I can look at you and teach you, right? Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna act as though you know nothing, okay? I think that you know nothing, okay? You're a blank slate, all right, in my book. You might know a little bit, but I'm just gonna act like it, okay? All right, so let's pretend that we're in elementary school, okay? We don't know much, but you're interested in coming and you're learning and you're gonna have some fun, okay? Same thing for your customers. Your customers have no idea what's going on, okay? And they don't wanna be hit with a bunch of stuff because that's what I found is that one customer said, you keep talking about this pie in the sky, that this is shop.com or whatever. She said, I feel like I got hit in the face with a pie and I don't know what to do with it. And I said, ouch. Right? Yeah. So, as a leader, I'm going to tell you what not to do. I'm going to tell you what to do. Okay? So, I'm going to treat you, my customer, the same way. I'm going to act as you know nothing, and I'm going to give it to you step by step and build on it. Does that make sense?
And that's where we have to remember that even though we're familiar with the lingo and the terms, they are not. And that's where we talk about don't get weird. When you start talking about BB and IBB, you're losing the people. You know, you got to make sure they don't understand, you know, mall without walls. That's why it's good to break it down like Emily taught you to do, to explain how they go to the mall, but then they go to Victoria's Secrets or to JCPenney's or to that store because they don't understand. We cannot assume people know what they don't know, right? And then they leave there and they're confused, and yet you've done a great job, but yet you kind of didn't, right? Because you didn't really get the point across, right? So that's what we're saying. Just make sure that you understand. That's why it's good to say that we're breaking it down for you like this so that you can understand and think like a prospect, you know, not like the business owner.
That's right. So good. Awesome. Okay, so what I say, and I first reiterate that this is if you're going to register as a free customer. Free. It's free to do this, okay?
And Emily, I will tell you, the last couple events I've done, I've really thought of something brilliant because, and I want to share it with you guys. When they come in, I have the person that's sitting at the sign-in desk, and everybody should be registered, even if it's a small thing. Everybody should be checking in at the sign-in desk, put their email, their phone number, right? And right away, the person that's checking them in makes a group text, and everybody at that event gets the group text right then, so that when you get to this point, then you're able to say, everybody check your phones. Did you get my group text? And then it's a straight, direct link to the person who brought them there to make sure that they are connected right away and it doesn't lose, people through, we just did an MPO and there was different people connected to different people, but what was great was they all got the same text, but they were connected to the person that brought them there that night. So it wasn't a big hassle when we got to the point where we were showing them that they could go right to their phone, hit the link, and then log in. It was perfectly done. So that's something that you might want to have a little takeaway, because then that saves you from having to do all this back and forth with the company, and then it's just correct right away.
Right, and so when you're having to do that, people really kind of lose their fire, when you're doing that. Okay, so then you're going to go to My Account, and you're going to show them just how to navigate the site. Okay, so go to My Account, and then you're going to do Shopping Trip. Okay, so here you can see your online shopping trips, and here you can see your cashback activity. Okay, when you click on that, it'll show you what your cashback activity is and all of that, and if it's been awarded or if it's pending, and I go through and I explain all of that to them. Because if something doesn't show up, and I also explain that what you're going to do is here, if it's pending, it's usually the return policy. If the return policy is not up yet, they won't give that cash back until that's over, okay? The next thing is that we're going to discuss the shop toolbar and the shop drop downs. Okay, so here's the toolbar here, and as you can see, they added shop local, and then here's the drop down. Those are the same exact things on the toolbar as it is the shop. Same thing. It's just whatever preference they want. And I kind of, reiterate that that little ticker there, that's how much cash back has been given, yada, yada, yada. All right, and then we're going to go to the Stores tab and search stores, categories, and search by the highest cash back. So I always direct them towards the stores, okay? And they can find the stores A to Z, okay? And then here I show, here's the cash back that you can get. And then someone always asks me, what's that IBV? I'm like, oh, well, that's just the points associated to everything. I mean, there's, like, everything in this room has an IBV point attachment to it. I said, but we're not here to teach you about that. We're here to teach you how to shop. And so that perks somebody's interest because they're like, I need to know, so what are you getting that IBV for? I'm like, well, that's just what we get paid on another end of it. I said, but that's not what we're here for. So then I go to the next thing, and I leave it at that. Now, when I do that, those people are super interested as to what is going on. Right? Okay? So,
and I just say, because like she says, I just say, oh, that's as a business owner, we're paid on that part, and so, but we're not here to teach you that.
Yeah.
And then they're like, what do you mean you're not here to teach me that? That's how she got 5 business partners, is because they came back to that question. So when we're not so hungry all the time to sell our business and all that, but we're educating, people want to partner with that. But when you're constantly like, let me tell you how to do it, you know what I mean? Then that's when you look like the pushy salesperson, right? That's what that's.
Right. So I also show that here at the Find a Store, right here, you can put in like contacts, and it'll bring up all of the stores that you can buy contacts on, like your eye contacts. You know what I'm talking about? All right. So you can keep going, and then you can search by, different store names and that sort of thing, and I talk to them about that, okay? The next thing that we do is we talk about the comparative pricing, okay? So what I will do is I will look up a TV, okay, in the search bar, or I go to electronics, and I show them how it can be, different, you can see what kind of televisions, I'm gonna click on TVs, and I can be really picky as to what type I want, okay? So then it's gonna narrow down the search that way. And then I'll show them the price range here. So this TV in particular, it ranges anywhere from $299.97 to $538.36. And then I click on that and I show them how that looks, okay? And it says sold by 7 stores. So when I click on it, it's going to give you the best deal here first. But then you have the other buying options down here. So let's say that Kmart, and granted, all of these things all of these other stores have their own programs, okay? Their own cashback programs or their own points and that sort of thing. So let's say that you spend a lot of money at Kmart and you have a lot of points saved up that you know about that shop.com doesn't, okay? So you can apply those points. You just have to figure out which is the best deal for you, okay? Then what we do is I will Google, I'll show them that this system still works regardless if they're logged in or not.
So basically, in case you don't know, if you're on regular Google and you didn't go into shop.com, because you have the Shop Buddy downloaded, it is going to act the same way, letting you know, identifying the partner stores that we have. If you're looking for a certain item, you can be on Google and not even logged into your shop.com. That's what we're showing them. That, you might have forgot, whatever, but you can still be on Google, and it's going to show you by identifying the S that you see there as a symbol that's next to the information that you're looking for. And that you'll know then that is a partner store, and you simply click on that.
Yep, you click on it at that point, and once you click on that, Shop Buddy will activate. See, it says activate cash back. It's going to be blinking and all kinds of fun stuff to get my attention, but it makes that connection for you to make sure that you get the cash back.
And that's what's so good, you guys. I mean, it's because it is that personal shopper that's really truly trying to scream at you to save money. And then, you can tell people, listen, you may be at Amazon, no problem. As long as you have the Shop Buddy downloaded and you're still shopping on Amazon, it's going to pop up the same way as long as you have Shop Buddy downloaded. And that's how you know what's happening, is that alert that goes off. So you just click there to save money.
Right there. And then you can also click on this, and it'll also have a drop down of all the coupon codes and what percent. It reminds you what percentage you're saving and that sort of thing. All right, so at this point, I tell them, okay, now you know the basics, how to navigate the site. You just know a little bit about it, a little bit. Now we're going to move up to middle school, so to speak, and we're going to teach you how to navigate the site and where things are. So now we're going to implement go into the mall, okay, and then we're going to go to that partner store. Does that make sense? So we go to the stores tab, okay, again, and then I show them specifically, and I don't inundate them with a bunch of stores, because how many partner stores do we have? 3,500 plus, okay, there's a lot of different stores, right? But a confused mind does what?
Nothing.
Nothing. So I keep it simple, sister, right? Okay? So I show them box.com, they can get their groceries. Jet.com, they can get their groceries and get cash back. I only show them things they can get cash back on because this is a free customer. Does that make sense? Okay, then I show them 123inkjets.com. Then I show them Raise, and then we stay on Raise for a little bit, okay? So I tell them, this is considered the one-time dip. This is the dipping once, okay? You go from shop.com to the partner store. So to get cash back, you must create, and I tell them this, any place that you go to, any partner store, you have to create an account there, with the same email address that you've registered with shop.com. If you do your personal account, okay, and then you go to a business, like you have a business email or whatever, it's not going to make that connection. Bill Gates was very, very smart when he made this. And so you have to have that email. It tracks your email address. So I reiterate that you have to have the same email address for it to track. Okay? So from there, so now I say, okay, we're going to go to high school now. We're going to learn what you learn, and then we're going to add on to that. So let's add to what you've learned, and we're going to teach you the double dip to get more cash back for that same dollar that you just spent, okay?
I always say, how many guys like chocolate dipped strawberries, But do you want them double dipped once or dip twice, or dip 3 times. You know what I mean? You want an extra, triple, quadruple dip. And so that's where it gets sweeter and sweeter as we add this to the deal. You know?
All right, so I teach them how to go to raise. All right, then I'm used to, and I'm just going to give you that this is, I go to the partner store, or I go to Raise, I get a gift card. I get a $100 gift card for $70. How much did I save? $30, right? On that $70, I receive 2% cash back, which is $1.40. To double dip, I take that gift card and I go to our partner store, which is Torrid. Okay, let's just use that for example. And then I spend my $100 gift card there that I got for $70 there, and then I get cash back on that $100. So all in all, that's a double dip. We did originally spend $70. We got $3.40 cash back. And how much clothing did we get? $100 worth, right? Plus whatever deals and coupons that Shop Buddy brought to our attention. So then I directed them. I said, okay, now you're going to graduate. We're going to have you graduate. How exciting, right? So I directed them. I said, look, we're going to talk about, we're going to scroll down here to services, and we talk about shop local. And I teach them at that point how to register their credit card to shop local, and I talk to them about that. And I always reiterate that Los Arcos is my favorite spot, and you can get paid cash back for having margarita. It is possible. So that's what I love. And then I go to Shop Buddy, the services again, and I scroll down to the shop.com Platinum MasterCard. Okay? So I clicked on that shop.com Platinum MasterCard, and I seriously just read what's underneath it. Okay? Earn an extra 3% cash back for every dollar spent on qualified Market America products, and then 1% cash back on everything else. And that is a triple dip. So I use my cashback card, I go to Raise, I get my Raise card, and then I go to that other store. So that's 3 transactions happening, the same dollar, and I'm getting cash back on all of it. Does that make sense? Okay.
And listen, you guys, back on the shop local, just because I know we're wrapping up here, but back on the shop local, you guys, like, we teach them how to put their card into the, so that they can actually, already be set up, how they actually do that with their credit card. So that way, again, if we want to increase shop local, we got to teach our customers how to go ahead and put their information in there, so that way we're helping our company really enhance the shop local program. Plus, when they're shopping, we're getting also paid on that benefit too, from the shop local people out there. So just another tip on that.
All right, and so then the next thing I do, when I read that Market America products, they're going to ask, what's Market America products? And so I say, okay, pull that shopping list back out. I want you to flip up and see what products that you're already using that you can transfer to a better product for less and make the most out of your cash back. And I said, remember, we're a product brokerage company. We only deal in multi-billion-dollar industries. And so then I proceed to the slides. Okay, I just continue with the slides and what that says. And as we do the isotonics here, we hand out little shot glasses of samples of aloe and isotonics. And then they realize, man, this is not disgusting. So
and another great thing too, because we all go and help each other at events. It's a good that we've had that conversation with our team members that are going to be that are showing up. That's like, hey, okay, Amy, you're going to be giving out isotonics to everyone. All right, Andrea, you're going to share your testimony. And then, you identify people who have testimonies. And when you're showing the products that we have in our exclusive brand, then, at that point, you're going to want to share the testimonies. And that's when you're working together as a team. And it's a well-oiled machine because people are experiencing the products, they're hearing their testimonies. And once again, it's kind of like you can talk about, you can go to Walmart and they're a product brokerage company. And they have tires and they have, where you can get your celery and your milk and your bread and you can buy your kids' games. The same thing is here, but also Walmart has great value. And a lot of that's just like, the branding, the packaging. We deal in billion-dollar markets, and these are great because you don't know what you don't know. And we're really excited to share this with you because when you shop, you're gonna and you use these products, you're actually gonna gain more benefit from it, and that's what we really want to educate you on. So whether you use them or you don't use them, at least you know that when you're out there to look, to identify, because these are the best products, and what's great is that you're going to actually get paid more on it when you do use them.
That's right. So at this point, I go through, and I want you guys to add to your little notes here at the very bottom. During this section, your team is giving testimony on the product they're using, because they're a product of the product, and they've had success because the products are fantastic. Okay? So, you never do an event alone. Never do it without your team, okay? And you want them to engage. Second thing, you're going to pass out isotonics, the little samples of each so they can taste it. And then this, you're going to book a follow-up. And people ask for, I'm like, oh, well, this is my partner, and we, quadruple dip and 5 times dip, okay? Instead of just the 3, there's other ways to do that. And people are like, what? Say what? Okay, so I have gotten 5 partners off of this type of event because they literally see everything.
Yeah. Okay? And one of the things we do is that when we do talk about these products at the end, you can bring some of the products that you have for them to see, for them to put their hands on. Again, they're tasting and sampling the products, but then when they actually see it live, they're like, what? And then that's how Emily came into the business. That's how, people can actually, test the products that they're already using, especially with motives. As we grow motives, put motives out there because the product sells itself.
That's right.
And so that's definitely something that...
And two, another thing I want to add very quickly is that when they see this, they see themselves in these products. They see, I'm using this. They see that they want non-toxic products. They see all of that. So off of that, we have so many people that are interested. Oh, I want to do a motives event. I want to do a skincare event. I want to do this kind of event.
We had one lady, remember, we had one lady at one of our events that she booked a motives, a wellness, and an additional shop.com. So one lady booked 3 events from this event because she was just interested in learning about the product. And so, it was a win-win, right? That was like, you guys are laughing because you're like, y'all know, right? And so, wait, it's just like, it was me. No, I'm just kidding with it. This is fun. But anyway.
So with this, it ends up, with these slides, it ends up, and it reiterates, this is a product brokerage company, and it's an internet marketing company. We have thousands of product stores and hundreds of exclusive products. And then we have, you get paid to shop, and it's Shop Buddy. And then why shop on shop? And this reiterates again what we just talked about, okay? And then this is some of our partner stores, because we didn't touch but 5, right? But they see, no way. I go to Dick's Sporting Goods all the time. I go to Gator Mountain all the time. I go to Bass Pro Shop all the time, right? And so if you can figure out a way to make cash back on all of this stuff, and this is just another handful, it really starts to click and say, yes.
Hey, another thing we do that has been helpful is on the name tags, is right there, ask them what their favorite store is, because then it's like, what's that about? So then when you go around and then they see that, we can correlate, but sometimes you can maybe pick out if those stores got a little extra time.
Sure,
you can pick out the stores that you know in your mind that have the cash back.
Right.
And you're like, oh, I'm going home and I'm shopping at Bass Pro Shops when I get home.
Exactly, because then it's customizable to the people that you actually have in the room, which is even better. Right. So that's a great point, Nikki. Thank you for adding that point.
Yeah, if you have the time to do it, what she said is that she puts the name on their name tags, some of their favorite stores, and so then you can, instead of doing those 5 that I talked about, you can kind of customize your event towards your clientele, right? And so then they actually make that connection a little bit better.
We have the guests actually put their favorite place they shop in the traditional shopping area, and then we have the business partners put their favorite product from our exclusive brand. So that's a great point to remember.
Okay.
So, bottom line, when it gets down to closing these events, it's so neat because, at the end, we do say, listen, we're gonna get with you guys right now. We're gonna find out, maybe you have some more questions about, obviously we ask questions, but when we get down to closing them, we're like, listen, if you really want to know more about how we make additional money at this, or you want to have an event at your home, and all throughout the event, we're like, write this down. If you want to know more about, saving extra money, or you know someone who wants to have a tax deduction, this is a place that we really want to encourage you guys to get them with us, because we'd love to teach them and show them with our expansion that we're doing. And people, like Emily said, they'll put the little star down at the bottom because they want to know more. And then we just tell them, like, we don't want to forget about you, so make sure you put the star down so we can follow up with you and make sure that we answer any of your questions or get in front of you to show you more.
Yep, that's it.
I mean, and honestly, then you have 100% people who are already your customers with these Shop and Save events. So just from doing that. So thanks, Emily.